Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where you get a little bit of something and a whole lot of everything. Happy Wednesday. It is hump day, and we're here. It's Self-Care Wednesday. So, it's cold outside. It is cold outside, hence the hoodie. But yeah, it's, and maybe in other places in the world, people are going like, it's crazy. It's not cold, but it's cold. In fact, I just closed my window. I know, I'm that weirdo that likes to keep the window open even when it's cold. But yeah. So anyways, let's get rolling. It is, oh, good morning, baby sibling. Happy hump day again. So, Self-Care Wednesday, and we're back just good morning, Muddy. So for all the people who watch this on TikTok or Instagram, I apologize. Apparently, if it goes an hour, like anything over an hour, I can't upload it to either site. And yesterday, doing the Confidence Vampires was it was epic because I had Muddy on, I had Bestie on, and yeah, we went 42 seconds over. So if you're watching this and you're on TikTok or Instagram, you can find these on YouTube, under the Aloha Perspective, on Blue Sky and Threads and Facebook Live. All the lives are public, or Twitter. All right, so you can find me there. So Self-Care Wednesday, and for anybody wondering why we're doing Self-Care Wednesday, I wanted everyone to process yesterday's first three things of Confidence Vampires. So tomorrow we'll get back to 4 through 7, which was really, really good. And like I said, I'm going to open up big on number 7 because I identified as that one. Oh, I know. So I have a lot to say about that. But also, for anyone that on TikTok or Instagram that might be watching this later, really do heed what I say on there. Don't, if you identify with any of them, don't take it personally. Just figure out how to, adjust the behavior, and fix it. Because I don't think, like I said, in 99% of the time, I don't think it's intentional. It just, like Sammy and I talked about yesterday, it's ingrained. Sometimes it's a learned trait, or just coming from a place of hurt or anger. So like I said, most of the time it's going to be either someone who's hurting, someone who's had trauma, or just a narcissist. And I would say that that's the 1% of the time where they just don't give a shit. So don't worry about them. All right, just focus on you and how you can get better. So let's do this. Self-Care Wednesday. I got this from, I forgot where I got this from. Oh yeah, I know I have it saved. So when we're done with these, I'll probably next week I'll post it, because I'm just trying to pick the random ones, right? And there's 25 of them, but a lot of them we already know. So these are just the ones that's just kind of out there. Last week we had museum going, we had axe throwing, we had at the wall, not at people. Exfoliate your entire body. So as Sammy said, exfoliate it all. So and indulging in childhood stuff. So today, number 1, see a random singer or band. Now some of you might be thinking, yeah, well, that costs money. Not always. Local cafes, yeah, will sometimes have live music. It's getting to be spring and summer, so now sometimes they have those little outdoor festivals at like public parks and stuff. I know, I'm not sure if they still do this at downtown Disney if you're in Southern California, or maybe even Florida. I'm not sure if Florida does it, but on Fridays or Saturdays they would just have bands. And I mean, yeah, it's the cost of parking, but I mean, you have this entire thing you can walk up and down. And, I mean, if you're with your friends, you can all split the parking, however you want to work it. But, yeah, there's ways. Sometimes you can go see a band. It's like a drink minimum, or maybe they're playing at a bar. So, you can buy a beer and just sit there for a while. So, there's a lot of ways to do this on the non-expensive side. If you don't have that problem, then, just go see someone random. Maybe you're like, oh, I don't know what I want to do today. Oh, look, my favorite band's in town. Nah, just go. Just do it. Just, you probably will not regret it. And you're going to sit there and go, wow, that was some major self-care. I mean, who doesn't like loud music, right? I mean, just kind of blaring in your ears. So, yeah, I mean, live music, you feel it to the bottom of your soul if it's really, really good. So, yeah, just go see a random singer or a band. So, number two, see a stand up comedy show. Same principle as number one. Okay, most times the tickets are going to be pretty inexpensive. It's usually a 2 drink minimum. It might be a little more, on the pricey side for people that are trying to do things on the less spending money side. But yeah, see, Sammy, music is life. Music is life. I'm not really sure I ever really realized that until I met Sammy, but between Sammy and older sibling, I have this deep appreciation for music, and I think I always had it. I just don't think I paid attention to it when I was younger. Like it always just kind of soothed me, and so I just used it as a tool to soothe my brain and my soul before I understood that, I had a dinged up mental health. So, but then when I met them, it's kind of like, oh, that's why it worked out. So anyways, there's that. Okay. So again, seeing a stand-up comedy show, like I said, it could be a little bit more on the pricey side, but not generally. There's a lot of open mics, and there's another one, right? You have open mics for singing, you have open mics for comedy. I mean, you buy a cup of coffee, buy a beer, whatever they serve there, and you're good to go. So, there's that. I'm going to save number three for last, because number three is my all-time favorite of self-care things to do. So number four, listen to your favorite album start to finish. Listen to your favorite album start to finish. So I'm gonna expand on this. I'm gonna do a little sidebar over here. The other night I was just on YouTube. I was trying to get to sleep. I could not get to sleep. I finally slept last night, but still catching up on my sleep. So apparently there's a lot of metaphysical reasons why sleep is a little bit hard right now. And I don't want to go into that right now because it's kind of self-care stuff, but I'll post it in the comments what my friend sent me, because I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. So, and if it resonates, that's great. It's not because it's metaphysical, it's just because I watched it once and I can't remember everything. So, oh, Bestie's on too, I think. I only see 2 people, but I see 3 on here. So anyways, yeah, so good morning, Troy. So anyways, listen to your favorite album start to finish. Oh, my sidebar. So I was on YouTube, and I like the band Disturbed. Okay, I don't listen to them a lot. They're not my favorite band, but sometimes I just okay. So baby sibling says, "Do tell I slept like garbage." Yeah, like I said, I can't remember it. Baby sibling, I will send it to you on text after this, and I will also add it into the comments. I have a friend in Florida, and we met in a different group that I found because of older sibling, but we are very in tune spiritually to each other, and she always knows when, I don't know how she knows this, but we must be connected in some way, because every time I'm going through something, I have no idea what it is. She's found all this really good stuff, and it's like, oh my God, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense. Thank you. So, thanks, baby sibling. I don't know about that. It's just forwarding something, but I have to remember. so I have to remember. Sammy, I'll send it to your text message too. So, but it hit home hard. But anyways, my sidebar was, I don't listen to a lot of Disturbed. I actually found them through a hockey CD I had, because, they're like, what would you call it? They're heavy metal, and in hockey games they play a lot of heavy metal, or actually not in hockey. Well, yeah, sometimes in hockey games, but also when they're doing their their little montages, they'll use these things. So, but he did a cover of The Sound of Silence, and oh my God, I felt it to the bottom of my feet. Oh, and here's Allie. So Allie says she thought I needed to listen to you today. Well, yeah, today's just Self-Care Wednesday, love. But funny enough, because I was about to talk about Allie, so Allie commented on it, and she sent me this other guy in Ireland, and oh my God, he did a cover of the cover, and it was with his friend though, so it's kind of like heavy metal Simon and Garfunkel. but I liked all three versions. I do. I like all three versions. I have two of the versions, the two mainstream versions on my playlist, but it's kind of like Zombies by the Cranberries, and then it was also done by Bad Wolves. Baby Sibling showed me the Bad Wolves, what you call it, and I love them both, and I literally keep them both in my playlist because I like the original. If I really love the original and it makes it into my monthly playlist, and I really like the cover, there you go. So it's legit. Okay, Baby Sibling, I will send you that as well. Okay, it's the YouTube, but I'm sure you can find it on iTunes. But yeah, I'll send you the video. It was a really good video too. I mean, it was very powerful. Like I said, I felt it to the bottom of my soul, and I was laying in bed. So yeah, see, Sammy says she loves the Bad Wolves version of Zombie. And here's a fun fact, okay, about Bad Wolves. Baby Sibling was telling me that because Dolores O'Riordan had passed away, I think either right before they released it, she knew about it and she really loved it, but either right before she passed away or right after she passed away, the song was released and they donated all their proceeds to her family. So, so that was a bit of an upender too. Ooh, look, I got chills. So see, yeah, Sammy loves Disturbed too. I know. See, this is why, like, all the people on here right now, I just love it because we kind of span the spectrum of music. I love everything in music. I'm not a big rap fan, sorry. I know I'm not. I've tried, but there's some I like, but mostly, like, I mean, I can listen to anything. I love big band. I love I do like jazz. I wouldn't say I love jazz, but I like jazz. And here's the thing too, guys. If you are willing to listen to any kind of music, number one, see a random singer or band. A lot of jazz people will do open mics and they'll just go to clubs or again, there was another place in Disneyland where it was at the outside bar at Trader Sam's, and they had jazz bands there, and we only knew about it because we knew one of the girls in it. But I mean, there's a lot of places that you can go see free music. So oh yeah, Troy says it looks chills LOL through my hoodie. Yeah, I'm wearing a hoodie too. It is freaking cold today. It is 56 degrees outside and it's 8:43 in the morning. Usually it's a little warmer by now, but it looks like it wants to rain. But I think that whole April showers bring May flowers thing is more like April thinks about showers, but we're not getting any. So anyway, so the first one again was see a random singer band. Number 2, see a stand-up comedy show. Number 3, I'm keeping that a secret till the end. Number 4, listen to your favorite album start to finish. That was one of the reasons I kind of just elongated there on different music. It's fun to have playlists. Okay, playlists are basically this generation's version of oh, we can't see your chills through the hoodies. Oh yeah, I know, right? It's this, oof. But okay, that's just bestie being bestie. I know, you can't see my chills through it. If my hair could stand up, it would. But my hair, but it's as close as you're gonna get. I stayed curly again today. But yeah, I mean, in the era we live in now, okay, we so rarely listen to anything from start to finish. We are allowed to make the easy version of the mixtape. Now, I know everybody on here is around my age. Okay, so we all know the mixtapes. We all know the mixed CDs. Baby Sibling's a bit young, but I am sure she probably did the mixed CDs when she was Troy's trying to throw me off my game. That's funny. You gotta look at the comment. He did my snakes, except my hair doesn't have that many colors. But but we don't listen from start to finish anymore. Oh, see, Allie says she still got both. I know, right? Okay, so I still have a lot of my mixed CDs, and I found a mixtape I made in the 90s. Only problem is it's hard as crap to find a cassette player anymore. So, it's Sammy Medusa. Yeah, I'm telling you guys, my hair is Medusa. But, my little baby snakes. But anyways, so if you get the chance, I mean, a lot of us have access to like iTunes, which is what I use. People have Pandora, people have Spotify. Find an album and just go end to end. Just go end to end, or make a playlist, right? And just put that one album in there and just go end to end. Troy's all, that's because our entertainment now is in 30-second bites and we just keep scrolling. Yeah, that's true. Sammy still has all of her mixed CDs and tapes and vinyl, and LOL. Allie says, I've got my old hi-fi system, which my kids told me to throw away. I am glad you did not throw that away. I mean, what the hell? My parents threw theirs away, and it's like, what? And in one of my moves, and I am ashamed to say this, in one of my moves, I've left all my records behind by accident. I had put them in a drawer, and when I was packing up, I completely forgot about them. I know. There you go. There you go. The good old days of mixed CDs. Someone showing her age there, baby sibling. I remember using the tapes to record songs off the radio. Yeah, recording songs off the radio was cool, but there was this cool short that I watched. It was great. And it was like this one girl's just making like this tape for this friend of hers. And it's kind of like a flashback and a well, it's like a current and then, this person flashing back, because I guess the whole premise is they're going to her funeral or something, but it was just kind of like, you get to put everything together there. But yeah, God, I remember trying to record stuff off of the radio without getting the commercials in. And then sometimes you did and you just didn't care, right? And if anybody coming in is wondering what the hell this has to do with self-care, it has everything to do with self-care, because you're focusing on something else other than what might be tearing you down. You're doing stuff that you love. You're doing things that bring you joy, that make you happy. And that's the whole point of self-care. It's about relaxing and just kind of tuning everything out just for a moment. And so that's why I really like to listen to your favorite album from start to finish. Back in the old days, we used to have to do that. I'd put on the record or the CD and just go end to end, because, we didn't want to sit there after every song and just flip out the CD. Then came CD changers, though, right? Where you could put it on shuffle. And, I would say the majority of Gen X and millennials are the ones and early millennials are the ones who brought us all these, like children of the 70s and 80s, maybe the 60s too, the late 60s, brought us all this technology that has allowed us. I mean, the generation before made all these things possible. And then somebody said, wouldn't that be great if the CD changer could just be on a tiny little disc or something? Dad and I were watching something the other day, and the guy was like, yeah, he said, one day all your music will be on a tiny chip. 20 years ago, we're like, nah. Now we're like, yeah. And you watch these old shows from that started 20 years ago, and you're like, oh my God, we're there. So, see, Allie says, at one point in my life, I would relate everything to music. Sad, listen to music. Happy, listen to music. Yeah, I still do that. So, I've talked about this before on Self-Care Wednesdays, and when I've talked about my dinged up mental health. And heavy metal got me through my teens. I mean, REM is not heavy metal. The Red Hot Chili Peppers are more punk. But those were kind of like, the Smiths, Depeche Mode, those were all kind of my go-tos. But when I was not in a good place, I'd put on really loud, music. We had Guns N' Roses, Metallica. I'm not really sure that Living Colour would be considered heavy metal, but it worked. The Cult of Personality, it worked. And just, my mom, it would drive my mom and dad nuts, no matter how much you close the window, right through my closet door is their living room. So, oh yes, the 10,000 Maniacs. I love the 10,000 Maniacs. Now that's an album I can listen to from end to end. But Troy says, girl, we have lived through 8-tracks, cassettes, CDs, iPods, streaming service. Yeah, we have. 8 tracks. 8 tracks. I got a good story for 8 tracks, guys. When I was a kid, I had the Alvin and Chipmunks Christmas on 8 track, and it was so funny because I didn't realize I still did this, but I was kind of singing in the car one day with sibling, and this is before I really found my confidence, so I was kind of singing under my breath. But she noticed that every time the Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas song came on, I'd always stop in a certain spot, and she's all, and one day, you know, she's like, well, I didn't want to say this because I didn't want you to make you nervous so that you stop singing, but did you ever notice you kind of stop at this one point? And I'm like, no, I didn't. And so the next time I was listening, and I was like, I did it again, and it's such a momentary pause. But then I realized it's because when I was learning the song was cut in half because of the 8-track tape. And that's why I paused. I was just automatic to have a pause. So, yes, Troy does know me so well. With the 10,000 Maniacs. Oh, Sammy saw 10,000 Maniacs in a club too before they were huge. Natalie was so shy she wouldn't even face the audience. Oh my goodness. Wow. I saw them, oh God, I saw them years ago at the San Diego Civic Theater. Great, great band. But yeah, Sammy lives in Georgia. Like, Georgia has everything. I mean, they gave us REM, right? I mean, I love them. Everybody knows that was just my band. And then I graduated to the Chili Peppers, and we could talk about music all day. Maybe we'll just have a show where we all come on here and talk about music. But that is so cool that Sammy got to see that. I mean, a shy Natalie Merchant, she can't even face the audience. I feel like she's still kind of like that, but she just kind of grew a little and just kind of forces herself to do it. I don't know. But anyways, number 5, go horseback riding. I want to try that as an adult. The first horse I ever rode was as obstinate and stubborn as I'm pretty sure my own people would say I am. And believe it or not, I have a confession. So everybody knows that my favorite, Shelley's Cult of REM. Yeah, it really was. I mean, God, that was Document is one of my favorite albums, and Life's Rich Pageant is one of my other favorite albums. One of my favorite songs is Fall on Me, about taking care of the earth, right? I mean, everyone's all like, well, what's all this new crap about taking care of the earth? No, folks, we've been trying to take care of the earth since before I was born, all right? I mean, in my senior year, I was the president of the Planet Awareness Club. We do what we do. We do what we can. So, anyways, what was I talking about? Horseback riding. Yeah, so I have a confession. Everybody knows me. Everybody that knows me knows I love blue cheese. Blue cheese is my favorite salad dressing ever. And the reason that came about is when I was in 9, my mom, my grandma, my cousins, and I, we were all in Lake Tahoe. And, because obviously as kids, we can't go into the casino. My grandma or my grandpa, one of them, took us horseback riding. My horse was so, as Laura would call it, barn sour. My horse was so barn sour, it stopped to just eat weeds the whole time. And they're all like, well, kick the horse. I was like, I don't want to hurt the horse. They're all, no, don't worry. Just kind of do your thing with your feet and he'll move. And I tried. I mean, I'm 9 years old. I'm about 2 pounds wet at the time. But anyways, that did not happen. So anyways, my horse's name was Blue Cheese. So that night we're at dinner. They're all, would you like a salad? My mom's like, yes, she'll have the salad. And, my mom is always trying to keep me healthy. But, so yeah, she'll have the salad. Well, what kind of dressing? I'm like, oh, what do you have? Then she said blue cheese, and I'm like, I'll have blue cheese. And my mom thought I was being so fancy. It's like, oh, not ranch, not Thousand Island. I don't like Thousand Island. Thousand Island. Mix it with ketchup, and it's every hamburger place's secret sauce. But yeah, that's how I ended up liking blue cheese. And I'm, that poor horse. The guy had to come back and just kind of take the reins and pull the horse because the horse was just like, So, let's see. Sammy says, I tried to drag people to go see REM with me before they were cool and had few takers. Wow. Then they got famous and everyone regretted not going with it. Girl, I am so jealous you got to do that. I am so jealous you got to do that. I mean, yeah, Georgia's put out some pretty rad bands, and for Self-Care Wednesday, I really just want people to focus on listening to one album today. I really want you to focus on number 4. Listen to your favorite album from start to finish. And I mean, not, and even if you don't have the vinyl or the CD or the cassette tape or the 8-track tape anymore, or your reel to reel anymore, just find it on your playlist. They still have full albums. We're just allowed to pick and choose what we want from it, and then, list it, right? But just create a playlist and keep that playlist. So when you're having a bad day, you just put that playlist on. And if you want to shuffle it, you want to be creative and shuffle it, fine. I mean, I can't, all of my favorite albums, I couldn't even begin to tell you what song came first because it's been so long. But that being said, just do that. Music is everything, and music is wonderful. And I like that Allie shared that, with the, what do you call it? Listening to it when it's sad or when you're happy. That just goes to show that music covers the spectrum of everything, And also, if someone says, hey, want to go see a band, nobody really knows who they are yet, just go, okay? I have a story for that. I know, see, I'm telling you, I got a story for a lot of things. I have a story for that. Now, it wasn't like her being able to go to a club and see this kind of unknown band, REM, but it was a concert, and I've shared this story before because it is one of my favorite stories. But I went to a concert. The Chili Peppers were the featured band. Nirvana was their opening band. And Nirvana's opening band was this little tiny band that nobody had ever really heard of. So I literally was at the foot of the stage for this concert, which, mind you, when they got famous, even on the floor, I couldn't get near the front, called Pearl Jam. Nobody knew who Pearl Jam, even my friends, like, who names themselves Pearl Jam? And I found out that Eddie Vedder actually went to school in San Diego for a while. So now the Padres and the Seattle Mariners, because now that they have interleague play, whoever wins that series gets the Vedder Cup. So it's this nice little, sister city kind of thing. So, yes, Allie says, I used to make my own playlist for happy, sad, work, etc. You know what? I have playlists like that. I legit have playlists like that. I even have a playlist called In a Mood, and it's all my angry music. I mean, not my angry music. And now, after watching Professor of Rock on YouTube, I want to make a playlist for power ballads and awesome covers. So, yeah, see, Sammy's like, I love Pearl Jam. It was amazing. I mean, Eddie Vedder even did the whole thing where he jumped into the crowd and he crowd surfed, and it was amazing. It was amazing. And then, and I was like, why aren't more people listening? Like I said, I just stood at the front. My boyfriend at the time and one of my really good friends at the time, they're just like, yeah, we don't care. We're just going to. But then when I looked back, there was a lot of people standing behind me. So I felt like it was a true privilege to be able to see this band that would explode. So in a very different kind of way, I get where Sammy's coming from. She lives in Georgia. A lot of great bands in the 80s came out from Georgia. And well, even before then, but from my experience of listening to music, and REM was one of them. So that would have been amazing to see them before they really kind of skyrocketed and became REM. So, that's pretty awesome. So anyways, here's my last self-care thing. This is my favorite. I have no shame. I love it. I love it. I love it. Number 3, take a nap. That's right. Take a nap. Take a nap. Just take that nap. Just take the nap. All right. So, there's this one coffee shop out here called the Light Bulb. And I still haven't been there yet, but I follow them on TikTok or Instagram because these girls are freaking hilarious. And they'll do these little promo things and whatnot. And one of them was, 3 o'clock advice. And she says, so-and-so, I can't remember their names. What is your 3 o'clock advice? Take that nap. And she's all, but it's 3 o'clock. She's all, take it anyway. Just take that nap. It's just like, yeah. And I mean, if you need the nap, take the nap. If you're at work, I'm telling you, I have mastered power naps. When I was at work, I could, I'd go to lunch and I would literally take like a 10-minute power nap. If I was really tired, I would take the whole lunch period to just sleep, set an alarm, be about 5 minutes before I had to be back into work. And then I'd just focus on, I would just do my best to clear my brain, and I'd fall asleep. And sometimes my sleep got pretty deep, and I would dream for the short amount of time I was asleep. And then I would just eat my lunch at my desk. But you got to do what you got to do. And you don't want to wear out your body so much that you're so tired you can't sleep. I'm not sure that that's really a thing, but I know it happens to me. I know right now older siblings going through it. I need to send her the same thing I'm sending to baby sibling and Sammy about the metaphysical aspect of why a lot of people may be struggling with sleep right now, because she's been struggling, and I have a funny feeling that this would also kind of hit her between the eyes. So I will also put it in the comments. I know the reason I'm sending it to baby sibling is because she's at work, so she doesn't have time to go into Facebook, but I will put it in the Facebook comments. If any of you want to be tagged in it, I will tag you. Sammy, I will tag you on that as well. And yeah, so you know what? Number one, again, see a random singer or band. Okay, Allie, I will tag you in the post in the comments as well. And Allie, hang in there, because right after this, I am going to do the card reveal in the Violets group. All right, so let's see. So again, number one, see a random singer or band. Number two, see a stand-up comedy show. Number three, take it out. Take it out. You can see how proud I am of that one, right? Number four, listen to your favorite album from start to finish. No cheating, okay, from start to finish. And number five, go horseback riding if you can. I know that can be a bit pricey too, but maybe you have a friend who has a horse. I don't know. So, you know, but either way, I want to figure out how to do this for older sibling, because the RSD that she has, which again is like kind of like the parent of fibromyalgia, it makes it difficult, a little difficult for her to ride horses. But she was a horse trainer and an equestrian rider in her past life. And by past life, I mean before she got into a car accident and got injured. So, so yeah, you know, and here's another fun fact about sibling. Before she ended up in that car accident, she actually had an appointment or an audition to be one of the first, I can't remember if it was first or what. She told me the story, but to audition to be a stunt woman. She wanted to do free falls. So yeah, I see where you're going there, Troy. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. Oh, okay, that went sideways fast. But he didn't say that. He just said save a horse, ... I added the rest. I know. But it's a song. It's a song. Okay. That's a good song too, though. I may have to add that to my May playlist. So anyways, all right. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll be back here tomorrow with 4 through 7 of Confidence Vampires, okay? If you missed the Confidence Vampires, you can catch the video 1 through 3 yesterday. It is also on YouTube, so you can find it there for the, you know, the whole duration of the video. Oh, Sammy, I know. Yeah, Laura is tiny, but Laura is mighty. Laura is tiny and mighty. And yeah, she had to literally fight to be accepted to that program because they didn't want to accept girls. So, you know, so she fought for that, and then life upended her, you know. And here's another fun fact about Laura. So I'm just going to share this because I learned a lot from her. I learned a lot from everybody in my life, and I'm grateful for all of them, all of you on here. So a lot of people know that Laura was in a car accident back in 1979. So she's about 15 years older than me, definitely an older sibling. But I mean, I don't mean older like that. I mean, she's definitely a big sister to me. But her friend, she was driving her friend's car, and the car blew a tire. Now, this is back in the days when there was a certain company that was kind of making some shoddy tires, and they had a tendency to blow. So she managed the car rolled, but the way she handled the car, even the officer told her, it's a miracle you're alive. I don't know how you did that. Well, because older sibling was a horse trainer, it saved their life. because she knew how to drive a trailer. Now, this is back in the days, guys, where trailers aren't like they are now. Trailers are a lot more people friendly, nowadays. I mean, there's still a skill to driving and pulling something, but back then it was a lot harder. It was a lot harder. There was a lot less, give that they have now. And she had managed to steer the car enough that she slowed it down in a way before it started rolling. So it actually saved their lives. So, and, she's paid for it ever since with the RSD or the CRPS, whatever. Like I said, it comes with two names now: reflex sympathetic dystrophy or chronic regional pain syndrome. And it kind of is like fibromyalgia on steroids. It is the worst of the worst of chronic pains. Not that any of the other chronic pains aren't bad. They are bad. But CRPS is like, that's like a nuclear bomb went off. So, so yeah. When I brag about her, when I talk about her, that's one of the reasons why, because it's just like there's so much about her that people don't see and don't know. But yeah, so, and to anybody else that struggles with chronic pain, I see you and I hear you, or your invisible illnesses. And, and you know what? Well, I feel for you, Allie, because I know you have fibro, and that it sucks. They both suck. Chronic pain to me is chronic pain, and it's just a matter of how you deal with it. Older sibling is lucky that she has a higher tolerance for pain than most people. So, I can't imagine what it must feel like outside of that. So that's one of the reasons why I am a big advocate for take a nap, because sometimes she just falls asleep because of her meds, and then she feels ashamed of it. She feels embarrassed. Like, why did I do that? I couldn't understand. Remember, when you're sleeping, your body heals, okay? So if you need that music to get to sleep, take the nap, all right? So this has been a wild Self-Care Wednesday. We've been all over the page. I absolutely love it. I love having people come on so we can chit-chat back and forth. It makes it fun. It makes it fun for me. I don't know about you guys, but it makes it fun for me. I will post those things. I'll post the Disturbed video of Sound of Silence in the comments. I did post it the other day, and like I said, Allie showed me someone else, so I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna post the other guy's version of that as well in the comments for the Disturbed comment, and then I'll also post the flare thing that's happening that's making it hard for people to you either have too much energy or not enough energy. It's kind of zapping everybody in different ways. So I'll post that as well. Okay. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you back here tomorrow, Thursday, for day number 3 of the Confidence Vampires. And tomorrow we're going to finish up, we're going to finish up 1 through 7 with 4 through 7. Okay. And then Friday, of course, we'll just go back over it and how we can move through this, how we can move through all these things. All right. So again, I hope everybody has a great, great day. Thank you so much for watching. Allie, Sammy, baby sibling, Troy, thank you all so much for coming on. Love you too, girl. Love you too, Allie. And yeah, I love all of you. Okay. And even if I don't know you, I love you anyways. Just to finish it off, I saw a great sign out there that says, that just says, I love you. And it says, you may ask me why I love you, even if I don't know you. And they're all, if people can hate for no reason, I can love for no reason. So I love you all. All right. I'll see you tomorrow, Sammy. Thank you, Muddy. And yeah, have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching.